Hello, today is Tuesday, December 29th. We are here in Washington in the Columbia River Gorge, and we're going up to Wind Mountain today. There's a little bit of snow, as you can see. I think we'll get some more on our way up, but it shouldn't be anything too prohibitive. It might be a little bit slick because I have seen a handful of people here at the trailhead just leave, and there's a few more than I thought there would be. So it might be tracked out and a little slick, but I've got some micro spikes and some poles just in case. Should be about 2.5 miles round trip. Should be a pretty good day though. We're parked here at the Wind Mountain trailhead, and the trail actually starts just a little bit down the road, downhill from the trailhead. All right, not even a 1/10 of a mile from the parking lot. You can see we're coming up on the Wind Mountain Trail here. There, as you just saw, there was a car parked. There is space for about one car down here, but I would say just since it's not even a 1/10 of a mile from where we parked, it's really not worth even trying to come down because it is a little tight there and maybe not exactly easy to turn around depending on what you're driving. Alright, we're about halfway up the trail right now to Wind Mountain. Every now and then we keep getting some open views between the trees across the river and down to the river. The trail's been very easy to follow so far. It's very well worn, very well maintained. There's a little bit of snow, but not really any on the trail itself. So far it's been a pretty easy hike up. We're over here on the northeastern slope, and there's a little bit more snow and it's turned to ice, especially where it's been walked on, but there's enough rocks mixed in here that I haven't even slipped once, so I think this should be fine for now without any sort of traction devices. Alright, it is time for a transition. It's gotten a little slick. There was one little corner that I just passed that was a little tricky, so I figured since I have these, might as well wear them. Here's some nice information about the summit here at Wind Mountain. This is a little bit more information on the historic and prehistoric ruins that you might find up here on Wind Mountain. So of course remember to be respectful of the land that you're on and not do any damage and leave nothing but footprints. Alright, we're coming up the last final stretch towards the summit. We've got one more of those signs reminding you of the simple directive to be respectful of the land that you're on. And before we get to the summit, we've actually got this wonderful view looking downriver of the Columbia River. Alright, we've made it to the summit of Wind Mountain. It's not quite living up to its name, thankfully. It's not so windy up here. But here we have a view right directly below us of the terraces and the pits that that sign mentioned that were part of the Spirit Quest up here. We've got fantastic views. It's pretty wonderful. It's actually relatively low effort for these great views. We got Osberger Mountain to the northeast over here, and a fantastic front row seat view of Dog Mountain straight across the way. We can see the Columbia River just below us, looking east back up it. Straight across the river, we can see Mount Defiance. Alright, we're coming up on the point that motivated me to initially put the microspikes on in the first place. I actually saw a couple struggling to get down this spot when I came through on my way up. As you can see, a lot of people, I think, have taken the tactic of just sliding down it. I'm very grateful for the microspikes and the simple traction that they provide to make things like this just as normal as walking on dirt. Alright, we're continuing to make good progress on the way down. We no longer need the microspikes. Got back onto the mud/dirt surface, at least for the most part. We're getting close back to the trailhead. It's been a really fun trip. Very easy to follow trail. The only concern for navigation was that initial point right there at the trailhead, where if you might have been tempted to take that trail right at the parking lot, that might not be the best way, because I think that is actually a much steeper route up. Alright, we've made it back to the parking area. It was a wonderful day today. Really well maintained trail, easy to follow. Probably the only navigational concern that you might have is that turnoff just below here on the road, about a 1/10 of a mile down. Otherwise, it was very easy to follow and very nice trail. We had fantastic views up there at the top of Wind Mountain. We had a nice perch above the Columbia River, and we could see pretty well into most areas of the Columbia River Gorge. So it was really nice views for really low effort. Wind Mountain stands at 1,907 feet and has a prominence of 947 feet. As usual, I'd love to thank all the people who made this possible. That was a very well maintained trail, so I'm very thankful for the trail builders for this one. Thankful for the makers of microspikes. Those were very useful today. Maps, of course. And then, of course, the original stewards of this land, which are in this area the Yakima people, and then this is currently the land of the Federated Tribes of the Grand Ronde, but more specifically, these are the ancestral lands of the Cascade Chinook. I'll see you guys out there.